Hello, wonderful class. I am so sorry to have to do this tonight. We are having parent-teacher conferences at my day job, and I had all my conferences scheduled so that they would be finished, so I'd be able to do the class, no problems. And there's a step parent coming in that could only do the conference during our class time. So please accept my apologies. Tried to rearrange it, but just couldn't do it. So I appreciate your understanding and go through this recording tonight. I won't be with you live, but this is what I would have done in the class. So tonight we're going to talk about the annotated bibliography, which is an assignment that's going to be kind of ongoing and not due for a bit of time. Go through that tonight. That's what your quiz is over. And we're going to go through it. I don't know how many of you have done an annotated bibliography before, but some of you it may be review. Some of you it may be the first time that you have ever heard of it. So I know that I did not hear about an annotated bibliography until my master's program. And I actually wish I had, because it's a pretty helpful assignment. And it's one of these assignments that, yes, it's graded, it's worth 100 points, but it is really designed to be super helpful to you as the student. So I'm also going to take you into the Front Range Library tonight. I wanted to be able to finish showing you where you can get the citations already completed. And it's pretty amazing. So we're going to run through that tonight through some of the databases. And then also, I also wanted to show you what the Writing Center is in case you guys are not familiar with that. We'll go through that tonight as well. So anyway, let's go ahead. I'm going to jump into our classroom and just going to start talking about the annotated bibliography. And let me see, I always have a hard time making sure that I only see what I wanted to see. Okay, that is not it. That is our Zoom classes. So let me drop here. There we go. Okay, this should look better. All right, let's see if I can move myself out of the way. All right. And I think I'm already in as a student. So tonight what I'm going to ask is that you guys go through this recording and then just maybe write down, the top 5 things that you got out of the lecture tonight. I don't even want to make it 10, just because you have 2 essays that you're working on. And so I don't want to add work to you because I wasn't able to make it tonight. So I'll just say the top 5 just to kind of let me know that you did pop into the class. So let's see here. Let's go into our content module for the week. And this is week 9, hard to believe. And this first one here for the annotated bibliography, the first one that I'm going to click on here is the main one that you want to use for your quiz. It's going to have the information on there that's going to be most helpful for you for answering the questions for the quiz. There are some citation questions on the quiz as well, but most of it is about the annotated bibliography. So let's go ahead and view this. I'm going to make it full screen. Okay, so what an annotated bibliography is it's a works cited page. And instead of just having the citations, it has an annotation for every single citation. It's done exactly as you would a works cited page, except for you add the annotation to it. When you do your works cited page for the argument paper, my hopes is that you will be able to use the majority of these sources for research for your argument paper, and that you will be able to use the majority of them on your works cited page for that paper. So the annotated bibliography is what I call an anti-procrastination tool for the argument paper. You probably think, Ms. Brody, I don't want to think about another essay right now because I'm just finishing the critical analysis and then also working on the cause and effect. But we do have to just kind of keep in the back of your mind. I don't want you to start it yet. You certainly could, I guess. But for the argument paper, I want you to start thinking about what topic you want to use. The topic for the argument paper, you want to think of something that is going to be kind of cutting edge. You want to think of a topic that is definitely an argument. not something that is going to be a great research paper, but not really an argument. Like, for instance, and I don't mean to pick on smoking, but if you wrote an argument paper on smoking is bad for your health, um, that isn't really an argument. You know that it is. There's enough years now and enough research and information. So it might be a great research paper, but it's not going to make for a good argument paper. Now, I did have a student write that smoking cigarettes should be completely banned. That was an argument, okay, because that's something that's pretty controversial. You've had a lot of people that don't agree with her. Some people that do, some people that don't. And that's really the kind of topic that you want to look for. You want something, a concrete topic is going to be easier than something abstract. Because this paper, that the argument paper, is going to be very logos driven. As a matter of fact, it's heavily logos driven. Of course, you still have pathos and ethos, but logos is definitely the main driving force of that essay. So it's easier to provide stats and facts for a concrete topic versus something abstract. For example, I did have a student one time that started to write a paper on love can't buy you money. Is that love can't buy you money? No, sorry. Love can't buy you happiness. Sorry, I knew that didn't sound right. She was a great writer. I figured that if anybody could do it, she could, but she got, halfway through the research and started saying, this is going to be really hard to prove. Number one, you have to define happiness. What is happiness? Then you have to, be able to prove that. And then how do you measure happiness? How do you know someone's happy? So it just kind of created, it was very abstract. So it was something that really she ran into troubles with, trying to make it into a real concrete, logos-driven paper. So I do have on this week, and I'm pretty sure it's this week's module, I included the link, and I'll go to that before I close tonight. That will give you over 200 topics that you could use. So you might think, that's too overwhelming, but if you're really struggling, you could look through it, and it's nice because it's broken it up into categories, so that you could pick a category that you like, and then within that category, there's different topic ideas that are along that line. So that might make it a little more narrowed down for you. So you might be asking, why am I talking about all of this with the annotated bibliography? And the reason that I am doing so is because the annotated bibliography is a library, if you will, of sources that you're going to start collecting, that the hopes of it is that you will be able to use them for your argument paper. Now, let's say you complete this annotated bibliography assignment and you completely change the topic that you want to do. Will you be penalized? Absolutely not. You will not be. You don't have to use even one of the sources on the annotated bibliography assignment for your argument paper. But my hopes is that you can use all of them, just because then it's going to be what my hopes is, my objective is that this will be a really useful source and a library, if you will, for you personally towards writing your argument paper. Okay, so let's go down here and let's kind of take a look at what this includes. So first, of course, is you're going to have a source and you're going to want to cite it. I'm also going to go tonight into easybib.com just to show you that, because I didn't get a chance to last class and I felt like that was rushed, and I want to be able to help you with that. So you're going to have your citation. Then you're going to have the paragraph, which is formally called an annotation. The information that it's going to include is going to be these bullet points here. So you want to do a brief summary of the source. You want to evaluate the credibility for authority, accuracy, and currency, which we've had a lot of practice doing, and the relevancy. If possible, you want to discuss the writer's background. This is the one that's most likely not going to be part of it, unless you can figure that out somehow. But you might want to just say something like, it was a credible author. They had credentials that showed me that they were credible, a credible source. Then you want to sort of analyze the intended audience, and then describe your reaction. Do you think this is going to be helpful? Is this a valuable source that when you sit down and start, writing your outline and writing your argument paper, is this a source that you think you're going to want to use? So really, the annotation is very specifically designed to help you. That is the main purpose for it, is to help you so that you can come back. You have this reference, file built. You can look through maybe one of them. You're like, sort of helpful. Maybe might use it. Possibility. So then okay, I'm going to look at other sources first. So within the annotation, you want to make it very user friendly for yourself. Okay. And I do have a really good student example to show you. You are required to have 10 citations and 10 annotations. That's the number of sources that you are required for full credit to use for your argument paper. Again, this annotation, for some reason, it is one of the biggest assignments I have to worry about plagiarism. And I think it's because students maybe copy and paste an annotation that's already created, and they think that's fine because you already have the cite. So it's that if you've got the citation, you've got that information, then you've cited your source. Technically speaking, you have. However, this information should definitely be put in your own words. And if you do something word for word, you do need to cite it just as you would anything else. Okay. So you want to be sure to paraphrase and use direct quotes sparingly. So what does this look like? You want to have up here your normal header, and you're going to want to have a title here that just says Annotated Bibliography Assignment. In here, it's showing the font being bolded and different than the text. That you don't want to do that. That's just what they have on this example. And then just like the works cited page, you are going to list the sources in alphabetical order. So Gilbert, Pam, Green is next because of the alphabetical order, Murray, etc. N. So you've got G and then GR, M, N. So you list them in alphabetical order. Do it just like you would do a citation on your works cited page, exact same format, hanging indentation, double spaced. And then the annotation does not have to be double spaced. It's just right underneath it. Okay. And it should be Times New Roman. I think some Google Docs are no longer calling it Times New Roman. They're just, so you can just look for Times. It's basically the same font. So Times or Times New Roman, 12-point font. And then you're going to do 10 different sources. Again, the idea behind this is that you're able to use, like, you decide, I really like this topic. I'm going to use this for my argument paper. And then you start collecting your sources. And then when you sit down to write, you've already got all this. All I have to do is go to the URL, click on it. You know if it's a good source or not, what it's about. And you can just quickly go in and start gathering research on the source. But again, you are not required to use even one of these sources for your argument paper. Not even one. You don't even have to use the same topic. The idea, though, is that you do use these sources for your topic, that all of the sources are about the same topic. That's ideal. And that it becomes this really great resource for you that helps you to have already collected a lot of information for beginning your argument paper. Okay. And I will be checking emails tonight. After the class, I will be done, I think, by 7:45. If you have questions, please email me. If it's even something that we need to do a Zoom call for, we could do that as well. Okay. So that is the annotated bibliography assignment. All right. And then let's see here. I'm going to stop sharing for just a minute here and then go back in. And I want to show you, I'm going to show you the other information that's available to you for this particular assignment. This is the rubric, so I'll show you what the rubric looks like. This is how I will be grading the assignment. You can make it bigger. It's actually a picture. I could no longer get it available, so I had to actually take a picture of my rubric and then use it this way. But this is how you're graded. Then we go here, and here's a really nice student example. The student did a beautiful job. There's a couple examples in here for you of student examples of the annotated bibliography. So you can kind of read through and see how the student did it. They did an amazing job with it. It's beautiful. Notice one thing, I'm glad that this came up. Notice here that this particular citation starts with a number. In the rare event that happens, it's pretty rare, but if you do have like a 1 here, then you always put anything that starts with a numerical number always goes first on your works cited page. So that's why, even though this starts with the T is here, but it has a number, that's why it's first on this list. Okay. So this shows you exactly how the student did this, and they did a beautiful job. So it's a great example for you. 10 sources, exactly in this format. Okay, and again, there's other student examples for you as well. You really didn't need another one with that one because it's so good, but there are some others available for you. Okay. Let me go back into this module again. Here's where the other student example is. And I'm going to set a timer so I don't end up running over an hour for you guys. I don't want you to have to be on here longer than that. So we've been on now for about 20 minutes. So maybe about 50 minutes or so left in the class. Sorry, I just thought about doing that because I don't want to run over time. And then again, this is just another example of a beautifully done annotated bibliography. You do the header, you have your name running, page number. And then if you use these sources, any of these sources that you want to use for your argument paper, you just simply copy the, it won't let me do it in here because it's a PDF, but copy the citation and you just paste it right into your works cited page for your argument paper. Okay. And again, if you have any questions on this, please shoot me an email. Hopefully the quiz will kind of help you too to just really get more familiarized with it. In this particular assignment, I give you a lot of time to do it. The idea behind it is to maybe do 2 citations and annotations a week. And then it's become such a super easy assignment. It's not like a big old, overburdening assignment to do if you do it really just like a couple a week. And the annotated bibliography, let's see, I'm not sure if I did put a due date on here. I did. It's Sunday, November 5th is the due date. So if you did even like 2 citations until that time, you'd have, just a little bit left right before it was due. And it'll, as we progress to, we're not going to have as many weekly assignments because we just have too many essays. So that's our weekly assignment. So, so doing this would be like kind of take the place of that. So, but it is due Sunday, the 5th of November. Okay. All right. And there is a quiz on that. If you just have this one here open while you take the quiz, all the answers are pretty much there for you. Shows you how to do it. There may be a question or two on, like you could just look at the student example and that'll show you as well. All right, so it's pretty straightforward. Okay, I also wanted to show you the Front Range tutorial videos for citation. We did have some problems. I want to see if these links, and I had this opening, but now I'm worried. Oh, shoot. Okay, they went in. I'm going to have to take those out. I'm glad I'm clicking on it with you guys on here. Those links are not currently working, as you can see. I'm worried that they've got a new librarian. They may have taken these down. So I'm not sure that you'll be able to use that. So I want to check this one too and make sure that while I've got you that this works. Now this one here, you have to go into this community site, and this is the change on here. And I don't know, this doesn't look like, I wonder if you did annotated. That's going to help you. Yeah, there are. If you type in the search bar annotated bibliography, if you feel like you needed some more information for what I'm giving you, these would be some references that you could use, but you do have to put it into the search bar. Okay. And this new libs guide, this is something quite new for me. They have changed, like I said, they revamped the whole library system, and I'm kind of learning with you. I'll be honest, because it's quite different than it used to be. Okay. So this is where this argument essay topic ideas is, or if you want to have some, look at some topic ideas for your argument paper. Like I said, there's 200 topics, and it puts it under these subcategories, these categories, and then subcategories. So this is where, if you're struggling, you could go in and say, oh, I'm interested in immigration. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to find one of these that seems like it would be a good topic that I might want to use for my argument paper, or I do want to use for it. And again, they've just got a ton in here. So it's easiest to kind of find the topic first that you like and you're interested in, and then you can go in and look at what would be available for that particular topic idea. Okay. All right. So again, that is the annotated bibliography. It's all geared towards the argument paper. If you're not interested and you don't need to use any topics in here, you definitely don't have to if you already have something in mind, or don't find something here you like and do think of something, by all means, you don't have to go, with anything on this list. It's 100% your choice what you get to do. So, all right. So that is the annotated bibliography. Now what I'd like to do is I would like to take you into easybib.com, and I'll put this in a recap in the class, on the class, or the stream page, or the announcements page, so that you have the link for it. And the only problem with easybib.com is that you do have to deal with a lot of ads. That's the only drawback on it. But let's see, and I'm going to pull a source. So I'm going to say Longmont Times call. I'm just finding a source that we can use so I can show you how to cite it. And I don't think at this point they charge. Some newspapers you can't get into. Okay, so although that says subscriber only, so I don't know. I may not be able to click on this. Let's try to see you when. Let's see if I can get this to pull up. Source. And none of these are clicking. Oh, it is. It's loading. I'm just being impatient. Okay. So we've got this here. And then, I'm sorry, I've got this bar up here. It makes it hard to copy the URL. See if I can move this down for a minute. So we copy the URL. Whatever source it is you're using, you just simply copy the URL. So Control C. And then, I'm sorry, I'm going to put this back up here. And I'm going to go back to EasyBib here. And it will also check for plagiarism and grammar errors. I don't normally recommend it for that, just because we have Turnitin and that works well. And I also will check your paper for grammar errors, but you certainly could use it, and Grammarly I think is quite efficient. But let's click on Create Citations. This is where I was telling you that you can choose your source. More than likely we're going to be using websites, but you may have a book, journal. If you click this drop-down menu, it's going to give you all kinds of different, like if you had a brochure, blog, Bible, advertisement, online data. This is a newspaper, but it's also an electronic newspaper. So I'm going to click it as a website. So you click on website, then you come up here. Again, you've got to try to avoid all these ads. But where it says website, you're going to paste that URL that you had. And I think because this is loading, it's not letting me do it. There we go. Okay, so then you're going to do Control V. Oh, wait. Okay, it did not copy my URL. That is definitely not it. Sorry. And now I don't know. It's looking like the Times call is not going to let me do it anymore. It used to be one of the newspapers that you could use their URLs without being a subscriber. No, now it's taking me to their Twitter. Okay, that's not what I want. Let's try it one more time in here, but I think it's not going to let me copy it. If you notice, everything is saying subscriber only. This one didn't say subscriber only, so we'll give it a try. Okay, so go back up here. Command C, that one did seem to allow me to do it. Go back here and Control V, there we go. So you put the URL in here, then you're going to do search. Then you're going to check it. You're going to say, okay, Colorado versus Arizona State. Is this the site that is this the article that I was looking at? And the answer is yes. So you're going to click cite. Okay, now what it's going to do is it's going to show you, here's what we found. They found the article title, the URL, the website title, the date it was accessed, date published. They're saying we need help with a sponsor that we don't have it, but it's really just the Times call. So then it's going to pull up this template here. So let's say it didn't have an author. So what you can do, and it's telling you, try to find the author. You can go back to the article and see if there is an author. This one actually does have an author's name, so you don't have to do that. It's got all of this information in it. And I don't even see a place where they're letting you put the publisher or sponsor because it did fill it in. But if, let's say this was blank, you could go back to the article. You could see what the publisher or sponsor was, and you could type that in yourself. You could do it manually. So any of this information that's missing, you do your due diligence, you go back to the source, you try to find it. If it's available, you come and you type it in where it belongs. If it's not available, you just leave it out. That's what's nice about MLA 9. Then you're going to hit click citation. And you do want to make sure that you have MLA 9 clicked. And then you just simply copy citation. Okay. And don't do the in-text citation, but copy this. Then you're going to be able to just paste that right on into a document. And there's your source. So it's that simple. Okay. One thing I also would like to show you, just in case you need this, is, let's see, I'm going to stop sharing for a minute and I'm going to get a Google Doc open for you guys. So I can show you exactly how you would do like a hanging indentation. And then all Google Docs can be converted to Word. So which is nice. So let me come back here and I'm going to share screen again. And I'm going to show you how you would paste that in here. Okay. So you just simply do Control V. Okay. Control V there. Now you notice that it did not paste it with the right font or a hanging indentation. So we're going to highlight it. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to click Times New Roman. I'm going to go to 12-point font. Okay. Not sure that that did the 12-point font though. It did. Okay. And then to get a hanging indentation, you have to highlight it again. And actually it does need to be double spaced. So we're going to click here and double space it. So now we've got it double spaced. We've got it Times New Roman, 12-point font, but we still don't have the hanging indentation. The hanging indentation means that the first line only is flush with the left margin. And then what we have to do is make every line after the first be indented 0.05 inches. Luckily, we don't have to measure that. There's a way to do it. So we go up here, and I'm so sorry. You go up to format. You click align and indent. You come over here. You do indentation options. Then right down here, it's going to say special indentation. It says none now. You want to click hanging and you apply. And it didn't apply because I don't think I had it copied, but that's okay. It gives us a chance to do it again. So we're going to go up to tools. No, not tools, sorry, format. Align and indent. Go down to indentation options. Click. Then we've got hanging and we hit apply. And I have no idea why it's not working. It should be working. That is very strange. Let me try it one more time. It honestly should be working. I've never had it not work. Indentation options. Oh, I see. This has to be, the left also has to be 0 up here, if you see that. There we go. Then it did 0.05. If you need to have both 0, and then it'll automatically go to 0.05. Apply. There we go. Okay, sorry. So I'm actually going to do that one more time for you. We're going to go to format, align and indent, indentation options. Make sure these are both checked 0. That's what I was doing wrong. Then you want this special indentation here. It says none, first line or hanging. We want hanging. Then it's going to go 0.5, apply, and we've got our hanging indentation. Okay, and that's how you do that. Okay, so that's EasyBib. And so next, what I want to do is I want to take you guys into the Front Range Library, and I'm going to show you how to access it from our class. So let me go back into share screen and make sure I can find our class again. Sorry. Okay, let me not share for just a minute and let me get our class back up. Somehow it vanished because I pulled up the Google Doc. Okay, here we go. It's much nicer when you're all here talking with me. But hopefully this is clear to all of you. And the nice thing with this is you can stop and start and take notes if you need to, which is a good thing about a video. Okay, so now we're back to our week. We're going to go up here to our home page, and I'm going to show you how to access the library. This is where I am going to be fumbling a little bit with you, just because every single semester they seem to be doing changes to the library. So if I don't hit it right away, we're going to be searching together to make sure I can show you how. So where you're going to find it is up here, and it's got all these different sources. First of all, it's got the help desk. If you ever need that, you can click here. It's got the Front Range Library database list, which is really nice. So let's click on that. That's actually new. It didn't used to take us right to the databases, so this is pretty cool. And then it's going to give you all these different databases that you can go to. And I'm gonna pop down here because the one that is most user-friendly is EBSCO down here. And I don't know if you really call it EBSCO, that's just what I've always called it. But this EBSCO host databases is the one that I would recommend. So we clicked on up here, we went to databases. There's so many, that's the part that can be overwhelming. The one that I most recommend to you is this EBSCO database, which is under E. It's nice they've got it alphabetized. And then this one here, the database one, click on that. And Colorado Community Colleges login. Now this looks entirely different than it did last semester. I'm going to tell you right now. So I hope we get taken to the right spot. We did. Yay. Okay. They update it every semester. So I always have to be like, I hope I can help everybody. So here you've got all these other different sources here. And I'm gonna actually click accept. And I'm wondering if it's going to make me sign in. Let's take a look. Okay, I think you actually have to sign in with your S number. And let's go to the academic search premier right here. Let's click on this one. And then what you do is you just are going to put in keywords. So let's say we wanted to research, this is when I can always use your help so much. Let's see, how about, I'm just going to do COVID vaccine. Nobody really wants, or just COVID-19. Nobody wants to talk about it, but it's easy to pull something up and you're going to get a lot of information. So now that was a very general search, right? So you're going to get 291,115 sources. And that's like, I don't want that many sources, right? That's too crazy. So what then you're going to do is we're going to do advanced search, and we can do COVID-19, and we could do newest strain, and maybe symptoms. Okay, and search. Now we've narrowed our search down considerably, and no results found. Okay, so let's just do COVID-19 symptoms and see. Okay, so that's going to give us, a little bit less sources, but it narrowed it down tremendously. It's still a lot. So I'm just going to click on the first one because my point isn't looking up COVID. My point is to show you how you find things. So here, if you notice with each of these sources, you're going to have like an HTML full text or a PDF text. So if we click on this source here itself, this is the beauty thing. This is really cool. This is going to give us a lot of information. This abstract here is basically like an annotation. But then over here on the right-hand side, you've got all these super useful tools. You can save it to your Google Drive, your OneDrive. You can add it to a folder. You can print it, email it, save it. Here's the real beauty. It'll even read it to you if you'd like. But here's the really exciting part, I think, is you can cite it. So you click on cite. Then up here, you're going to see that there's a lot more than just APA and MLA, which you probably already know. So you just have to search through these different citation formats. Like this is, if you needed APA, there it is. You click on there, Chicago. But we're going to come down to MLA 9 edition, and voila, we have the source already done. And I know we talked about having, no, this one has a URL. I thought it had a DOI. It does not. So then you just literally have to come in here, copy it, Control C. We would go back to our Google Doc, and I closed it. Sorry, I don't have it. And then you just paste it into the Google Doc. So that is pretty cool. And you can do that for any source that you click on. You're going to be able to do that for it. Now, the other thing with the library here is you can look for academic journals, magazines, newspapers, reviews. You click on what type of source it is that you want to look at. And like academic journals, there's 23,969. There's 907 magazines. So let's say we just wanted to look at magazines on this. So we would update our search, and it's going to give us, maybe some different sources. It looks to me like this is basically the same one, but it's going to give us these other sources. So for instance, here, we go in here, this is another abstract, got the same information. We can cite it here and go through and find our MLA or APA if that's what you wanted. And then you've got here MLA 9, and there's your source. So pretty cool. This actually is a DOI. It says HH, it gives a URL thing, but if you notice, it does have a DOI. So this is where the one time that you are going to see DOIs is it's like a permanent stamp, that permanent address for a citation. Okay. Another really awesome thing here with our library is for different databases. This is a new search. It wouldn't actually be under EBSCO. Let's see, you'd have to go back to the main databases, and you can put in opposing viewpoints, and it's going to give you like counter argument for the argument paper when you get back to the main library. There's a good chance that you're probably going to have to sign in, and I'm imagining that it's going to be your S number that you're going to use, and just your password is what it should be. If that doesn't work, you may have to call the help desk and ask them what you get into, or you can call the student center and just tell them, or the library, actually, that'd even be better. Just call the library and they're going to be able to help you to do that. Okay. All right. Now, the last thing that I did want to show you guys tonight is, I'm going to stop sharing for another minute here. I want to talk about our Writing Center. I don't know if any of you have used the Writing Center before, but it's wonderful. And the people that work there are fantastic. I usually have Annette come on who runs the Writing Center, and she kind of gives you a tutorial, but I'm not sure if she's there this semester. So, and actually we're back at the library. So I got to go back into our class, sorry. Here's our class. So the Writing Center, you're going to find under the same thing as these resources. And Online Writing Lab, you can go in person to the Writing Lab, but since you guys are kind of like a hybrid class, it might be easier for you just to go online. So you click on the online lab, and they will actually let you, you can submit your paper and email with feedback. So they will give you, they're going to give you feedback. They don't do editing. Like when I give you feedback, it's going to be some pretty detailed editing, as well as the feedback. They won't edit for you, but they will go in and give you general feedback, which is really nice. I've had a lot of students use it. And this is the directions for what you do for it, and letting you know. And then submit a writing assignment. You would just click here, and then you go in here, you tell what class it's for, etc. You tell what kind of what do you see as your strengths at this point, what are your main concerns, and attach it. These are the types of files you can attach, and then you submit your writing here, and then they will get back to you with feedback. So it's a pretty fantastic resource for you to use. It's completely free. The only thing that I will let you know is when it gets closer to the end of the semester, they're really full and they're busy. So you want to try to get, if you're wanting to get that help, you got to kind of get it in quickly. Right now in the semester, like for maybe the cause and effect, if you wanted to use it, it's going to be maybe not as busy, but I can't say that for sure. So again, I do also want to stress that there is at the Longmont campus, and I imagine it's probably at some of the other campuses, they do have an actual live writing center, and you can call them and make an appointment as well. I thought you could make an appointment here, but I don't actually see a place for you to do that. But you can call the writing center, and they are going to be able to help you out. So anyway, so those are some really helpful sources that you can use for your cause and effect. You can use it definitely for the argument paper. The library is obviously would be helpful for the cause and effect along with the argument paper. So anyways, so that is the instruction for tonight for our class. Again, I'm so sorry that I wasn't able to be here in person. I found this out later today, and I just decided I would record this so that you could still have class. I will put on the recap what it is that I'd like you to do, and I'll create a a Dropbox for it. Just if you can tell me 5 things that you found helpful tonight from watching the video, that would be super. That's exactly what I just want you to do. Only 5 things. Again, I don't want to add to your workload because I wasn't able to be here in person with you. So another quick reminder is if you'd like feedback for your critical analysis, please be sure that's this Sunday is when it's the critical analysis due. So if you could get that feedback in by 6 p.m. on Saturday, that would be great. That way I can get it turned around to you and give you the feedback. Okay. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful week. I will see you in person next week for our writers workshop for cause and effect essay. And I'm here for email questions, and we'll be checking in tonight to be able to answer any questions that you have over anything we talked about tonight under the lecture, as well as anything you have regarding your critical analysis, cause and effect, etc. So, okay, thank you guys so much, and so sorry again, and have a wonderful week, and I'll be checking emails. Take care. See if I can pause this. Okay.